4-week sleep optimization protocol. Today we're going to learn about tracking your sleep, okay? So you will learn in this video why sleep tracking matters, what key metrics you should track, and the tools and techniques for sleep tracking. So this is going to be a short video, very concise, very actionable. I want you to be doing these things as you go along. This is not just theory, okay? So why sleep tracking matters? Let's get some motivation behind this. So understanding sleep's role in health. We know the theory, but let's be reminded of it. In a short summary, sleep is essential for cognitive function, emotional regulation, and physical health. Poor sleep can lead to decreased productivity and increased stress. This is obvious. If you are sleep deprived, if you don't go to sleep and then you try and work as an entrepreneur, how productive are you going to be? So the opposite is also true. If you're well rested and get really good sleep, you're going to perform better than average and you're going to have better cognitive function. So that is what the motivation is. It's not just about feeling good, it's about performing well as an entrepreneur. It's about being more productive. So the role of sleep tracking will also be used to identify sleep problems early. Often, if you're not tracking your sleep, you're not aware of how well or how badly you're sleeping, you can go through life without really realizing it until those big health problems hit you. You know, early Alzheimer's, heart disease, basically all of the major medical conditions are associated with poor sleep. So tracking your sleep helps identify patterns of sleep deprivation or disturbances early on, allowing you to actually do something about it, make adjustments before they impact your health. So yes, I'm selling you this feeling good, this productivity, but also it has the massive advantage of actually improving your lifespan, improving your longevity, and just helping your future self. So that is what the motivation is. Data driven improvements with accurate sleep data, you can make informed decisions to optimize your sleep, such as adjusting your bedtime routine or impacting your sleep environment. The great thing about tracking your sleep is you'll have that awareness, so when you make these small changes, which for lasting change you want to just adjust slightly, you can really see how that impacts your sleep data. What happens when you turn your temperature down by a couple of degrees? You might feel like you're sleeping better, you might feel like it's exactly the same, but what does the data say? What do the numbers say? So you can really link these small changes to your actual sleep scores and your sleep numbers. So that's why we track. So key metrics to track, what should we look at? Okay, so obviously, let's think about this. What's important in sleep? How long you sleep, the quality of sleep. But you can go a bit more specific than that. So total sleep time, yeah. So measuring how many hours we sleep each night. This helps ensure we're meeting the recommended 7 to 9 hours for adults. That's the basic advice. That's very general. You know, you want to sleep for 7 to 9 hours. Often people think they're sleeping for 7 hours, but actually you're really only getting, between 5.5 or 6 hours. A lot of that time you're not actually sleeping. That's why sleep trackers actually tell you how long you're sleeping for. And you want to hit at least minimum 7 hours. Anything less than that puts you in a high risk position. If you're sleeping less than 7 hours, you're really building up this risk for future when you're in your 50s, 60s of all these health conditions. And in the short term, you're not going to be functioning. You want to hit that 7 hours at least, but we want to aim for more than that. Sleep quality. So tracking time spent in deep and REM sleep stages. This is important. These stages are crucial for physical recovery and mental restoration. We'll talk more about this later, but this is really your key area for when you sleep. You don't, there's lots of stages of sleep, light sleep, but the deep and the REM sleep, that's where your memories are made, that's where your learning happens, and that's where you really feel rested and restored. sleep efficiency. So this is the actual percentage of time you're asleep versus the time you are in bed. So high sleep efficiency indicates good sleep quality and fewer disturbances. For example, you could be in bed for 10 hours and only sleep for 5 hours. Your sleep efficiency is 50%. But if you're in bed for 8 hours and sleep for 8 hours, your efficiency is 100%. We want our efficiency to be as high as possible. So when we go to bed, we sleep. That is productive and that is maximizing our sleep opportunity. So these are the 3 key metrics to track. As we become more optimized in our sleep, we can track more metrics, more detailed, more specific metrics, as well as the quantity, quality, and efficiency. We'll start off with these 3. So we talked about the importance of tracking your sleep. We talked about the actual metrics of which you will track. And now we're going to talk about the actual tools and techniques for sleep tracking. So what devices can you utilize? Let's talk about them. Wearable devices. You've heard of this term, wearable. What does that mean? Essentially, smartwatches or fitness trackers that monitor sleep automatically. These devices provide detailed data on sleep stages and patterns. So this is where you get your information. It could be a Whoop, which I'm wearing, which I use, or it could be another popular one, an Oura Ring, which many people in this community use also. Those are the 2 big players, but you can also have other things, just like a Garmin watch, smartwatches, or even just your phone. Some apps can track your sleep. The best ones that I'm aware of are the Whoop and the Oura. So if you're serious about sleep tracking, it would be one of those 2. Sleep tracking apps, as I mentioned, not as good. You can get apps like Sleep Cycle, which can offer insights into your sleep quality and duration. Again, if it's just your phone picking up your vibration and noises and etc., it's not as good as a wearable. But you don't have to wear a wearable. Any form of tracking is better than nothing. You could start, if you don't have a wearable, you could start with that. You could start with an app. You could even just start with, qualitative data. You could say, okay, how was my sleep last night? So we'll go on to this manual tracking with journals. So you could ask yourself, how was my sleep last night? Did I sleep well? How many hours did I sleep? You could manually track that. Less accurate, but still effective in increasing your sleep awareness. So if that's what you want to start off on, that's absolutely brilliant and far better than just passively sleeping, waking up, doing the same again, not knowing how many hours you slept, not being accountable. But yeah, journaling is absolutely fantastic and is actually something you should do, something I should do, even if I've got a wearable, because this offers insights that my wearable will not pick up. Subjectively, how am I feeling the next day? So this is a low-tech approach, keeping a sleep journal, wake up time and perceived sleep quality. This can still offer valuable insights over time, and a lot of things that can't be tracked with a wearable. And you can really link how your sleep affects your day, your mood, your performance, and you can do all that by journaling, how you feel, etc. So those are the main things. That's day 1. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you for day 2. Let's continue to optimize our sleep together. And finally, I should have said a quote: what gets measured gets managed. So let's apply that to our sleep.